Welcome to On Point Live. I'm your host, Michael Horn, but the stars of our show are a couple of great gentlemen in the world of football, entertainment, and beyond. We're talking about the Hall of Fame, 7-time Pro Bowl, 4-time NFC defensive lineman, Mr. Jackie Slater, with us every week at this time.
I thought he was going to say running back.
And he is a running back. And
we also have
the quarterback, known for that cannon arm, and right now he's got a bad back from working in his vineyard, Mr. Vince Ferragamo. How you doing?
Hi, Michael. I'm doing good. You know, it's the off season, but it's getting to be springtime, so we got to prepare these vines, and pruning is the way to go. And a lot of work in that vineyard.
People that don't know, you have a vineyard at his home, and it's a beautiful vineyard, great Italian wines at Ferragamo Vineyards, right?
Vince Ferragamo Vineyards.
Vince Ferragamo
correct.
Vineyards,
Yeah.
and he's got the Clarissa J. Jackie, you love that wine. It's a super Tuscan blend with Cabernet and Sangiovese, and it's just incredible. And you've been out there. This is pruning time, and you're a young whippersnapper out there. You know, a lot of people, when you prune a lot, like
some of them
roses,
have those electric pruners.
Yeah.
You know, those scissors, but I like the manual.
So number one, because he keeps
control.
that arm in shape so he can toss one,
Just in case
and
they
also
call
throw a football.
Just in case they call him out of retirement.
Exactly, and you were there and you're moving around a little bit. Got a little bit of a back strain, as some of us older folks like
bending
myself
over,
get.
and I use the shredder. You know, we have a shredder in there.
The chipper, I think it's called
the chipper.
Shredder.
Yeah, it's the same thing. You do all the stems.
Be careful. You throw the stuff in there and it blows out little chips, right?
Well, it can, but you want to blow it in a sack. So then you have to lift the sack, put it in the garbage can, make a compost. I mean, it's a lot of work, but it's fun. You know, it's good stuff.
So that was a good week. Jackie, for you, I know you're on a constant food quest, and last week on the show, you discovered the best burrito you have ever had in your life, and the way you said it made me take a back, going like, this is Jackie Slater.
Unbelievable.
You've been everywhere, you know.
So
You've
much
been in
so
towns.
that I tried it again today.
Again?
And I had that exact same burrito. It's a beef burrito, dry. Unlike Vince, he orders his
He likes his wet.
Beef, and it was absolutely perfect, just like I thought. And I spoke to the manager there, gave her my card, and I think we need to do some advertising.
And you said, and I think you said, put some Harmony cheese on this. It'll be much better. Didn't you tell him that as well?
Just a
It's
sprinkle.
our sponsor, HarmonyCheese.com. We love some of the great. I like that cheese, that Merlot cheese they have over there. It's kind of their port cheese.
Port wine cheese.
Port wine
goes
cheese.
great with wines for sure.
So that's really good stuff. Now, if you want to check us out, go to our website, onpointlive.net. Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to On Point Live with Vince and Jackie. And check us out on Instagram, on.point.live. Email us. We're giving away a prize today. Go to onpoint@crntalk.com to win a Harmony cheese pack and Vince Ferragamo wine. We'll be back. It is On Point Live. We are back on Point Live. I'm Michael Horn with Vince Ferragamo, Jackie Slater. I told you our sponsor, it's HarmonyCheese.com. Go there and check out these incredible cheese packs that they have. You can order them. They're delivered to your home. Again, it's HarmonyCheese.com. And we, on this show, have been having you enter a contest to win a Harmony Cheese pack and some Vince Ferragamo wine. And all you do is give us your name and your address, and you email us at onpoint@crntalk.com. That is our main network that distributes the show, onpoint@crntalk.com. And we've had a lot of entries, and now we've selected a winner. Corey Marino, our producer on the show here today, has worked overtime to go through and actually hermetically pick a sealed entry for the cheese packs. And who's going to do the picking?
I'll do it.
I'll
do it. Yeah, because we have so many subscribers, Mike, and contestants that want to ask us questions, and they're inquisitive of our comments. But we picked out James Castro from San Jose, and he loves our show. Always has a comment. So I hope he loves the wine
Brother
and
Fidel?
the cheeses.
Does he have a brother
I
named
don't
Fidel?
know. I hope not.
He does send him a couple of prize packs. Keep him happy. James Castro, where does he live? What area?
San Jose, California.
San Jose. We're heard on radio stations all around the country. You can listen to us. We're obviously on YouTube with the video podcast, but the radio show is on radio stations around the country, including WRMN in Chicago, and we're also on CRNtalk.com. And on CRN, you can hear the show. Listen to this. Tuesdays at 4 o'clock Pacific Time and 8 p.m. Pacific Time. You can hear it Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific Time, Saturday at 8 a.m. Pacific time and Sunday at 6 a.m. Pacific time. And you also hear us on the Sports Byline Radio Network. That's Saturday at 8 a.m., also on CRN2.
So you got to wake up early Sunday morning to listen to us.
Your show is taking off like a shot, gentlemen. I'm telling you.
Too early.
Jackie, you listen to every one of those plays, don't you, just to see if you sound better each time?
Well, I do like to listen to it over and over and over to make sure I test the quality of my comments. And
they withstand the time, let me tell you.
That's good.
Let me throw a curve at you. You guys played for the Rams. Off season now, all the talk is going on. Hey, let's go and see who we can pick up at the NFL draft, etc. There's a lot of talk going on about Matthew Stafford, arguably one of the best quarterbacks in the game, leaving the Rams and possibly going where and why? Can you guys let's start off here. Vince, you start.
Well, it's hard to believe, Mike, that they would give him his walking papers, but they didn't really give him his walking papers. They said test the market, see what your value is. Now, remember that Matthew Stafford came to Detroit.
Nice to him, huh?
He made something like 227.
Detroit, a lot of cows there.
Was it $227 million, Jackie? Having only appeared in 3 playoff appearances, not winning one of them until he came to L.A.
Correction, it was more than $200 million.
That's right.
It was $300 million.
No, $227 million without winning a game in the playoffs.
Yeah, without winning a game
in the playoffs. But
beforehand.
So he's testing the market, but he's still the second highest quarterback. Earner
of all time.
Of all time.
Can
you believe it?
Not necessarily.
And that's ahead of a guy named Tom Brady. Am I right?
Well, yes, it is. The only one he's not ahead of is Aaron Rodgers. But Jackie's still out to make $27 million this year, but on average $40 million. I mean, what are we talking money here? Is the object's 37 years old, so where's he going to go? Yes, there is interest in other teams, but where would he go? Would he go? I think. If he's going to leave, I don't see him leaving the Rams, first of all. I don't see why they would. Because if Cooper Kupp leaves, well, maybe. But if not, he's got to stay in L.A. But, the team that really wants him is the Steelers and the Giants. But the Giants, I don't know.
Well,
Jackie Slater, come on.
When I look at this situation, I told you how I felt about it. I felt that Matthew Stafford was a huge part of this Rams team's success a year ago. Young team with a bunch of their contributors in their first and second year, and Matthew Stafford week in, week out leading them. But for one errant pass there, we might have been looking at a tied ball game with them to beat the Philadelphia Eagles.
Right.
But this is where I've thought about this over the course of the week, and this time last week I was doggone adamant about paying him and how he had contributed to the success of this organization. But this is what I've come to realize when I think back and look at it. There are a lot of elements that goes into the success of a professional football team. Okay? First of all, you got to have a group of people that knows what they're talking about and know what they're doing, that's acquiring talent, that can recognize the talent that needs to be acquired. So why aren't those people recognizing talent that needs to be acquired, and why are we continuing to have to deal with Matthew Stafford asking for a raise every year? So that's number one. Where are we missing the market recognizing the talent? Okay, and then the next thing is, if we have had different guys in over the years, okay, Baker Mayfield's, is our coaching staff only capable of working with guys that were drafted overall number 1 pick? That's what we've had. We've had Jared Goff. We've had Matthew Stafford. We've had Baker Mayfield.
Yes.
All 3 of those guys were number 1 overall picks. Is that the only talent?
So what you're talking about?
Can our coaching staff develop? Sean McVay, I got a lot of respect for Sean McVay and the way he runs his organization, Vince. But at some point in time, somebody's going to have to show me that this organization is going to be successful regardless of who the quarterback is sometimes. Because we're going to be able to take guys that you never heard of and recognize what they can do and bring them in and fit them into our system. What's wrong with that part of it?
Well, I see what you're saying.
Then you can let people like Matthew Stafford, you can get something for them. Let them leave, because we can develop. Listen, there's no more prime example, and I know I'm going a long time, but there's no more prime example of what I'm talking about than to watch the Rams under John Robinson. His offensive line coach, Hudson Houck, was with the Rams for 9 years, and during those 9 years, he had 21 different guys be selected to the Pro Bowl. 21 different Pro Bowl selections. They weren't all first-round picks. They were acquired here and there from everywhere. He knew how to teach them what they needed to do to be successful, and they featured guys like Eric Dickerson and Jim Everett the whole time that they were there. We need to see some of that, too.
So coaching is a vital key to this whole thing, Michael, because Jackie mentioned development, how you develop players. Now, since the acquisition of Ryan Wendell on the offensive line, the Rams' offensive line has improved immensely. They have Jackson, they have Avila, they drafted him. They've made more strides in the development of offensive line than any other position on this team. But Sean McVay brings a mental element, a sophistication of offense. Okay, so you're given the game plan in front of you with all the technicalities, all the different nuances, and this is what makes you excel. So as you're a quarterback, the number one key is to look at who is my coach. You're not going to go anywhere in the NFL and get better coaching than Sean McVay right now as a quarterback. Why would you want to leave? Okay, that's okay. Simply put, he's made enough money, so that should answer that question. But he's developed, Sean McVay, more than developing players, he's developing coaches. Because a lot of his assistant coaches, coordinators are gone. They've already gone on and become successful elsewhere.
We need to develop. We need players. The coaches aren't winning any games, man.
I know, but the coaches are helping players become successful.
The coaches are going to have to equip guys with the technical skills that they need to be successful in their system. There's no doubt about that.
So to answer the question, where's Matt Stafford going?
Yeah,
he's not going anywhere.
And the other thing, too, is Matt Stafford has value.
Yes.
The management team should figure out how do they maximize the value of Matt Stafford if he leaves.
You got to keep Cooper Kupp.
If he leaves, and realizing that if he leaves, no, we might not get his performance, but we have Joe Blow from Kokomo over there that Sean McVay and the quarterback coach has recognized that can come on and get this job.
Let me ask you a question. If they lose Matt Stafford, who's going to come to the Rams? Are they going to come from within? Are they going to get Jimmy Garoppolo or Stetson Bennett?
Vince,
can they do the same thing?
Vince, you asked me that question, and you and I, all the way in, we listened to the podcast from out of the combine right now with all the general managers and all the head coaches getting up there and talking about their
how they're going to improve their
teams and da-da-da-da. They're paid to do that. How about letting those guys do their jobs and come up with people?
You're starting all over again if you don't keep Matt Stafford.
And maybe start firing people from there. Because you can't recognize what a top-tier quarterback is unless he's the first overall pick.
Why let him go out and shop his talents?
Can I take our first time out here in the show? It's getting pretty hot in here, let me tell you. Jackie Slater, Vince Ferragamo, On Point Live. I'm Michael Horn. When we come back, I got a very simple question to ask you gentlemen, and I want a direct and straight answer, as I know you will give me on the show. It's On Point Live. We're here every week at this time. Check us out at onpointlive.net and follow us, email us, onpoint@crntalk.com. onpoint@crntalk.com. We'll be back. We are back on Point Live, coming to you from crntalk.com, Sports Byline Radio Network. We're on YouTube with our video podcast. Check it all out at onpointlive.net. I'm Michael Horn with Vince Ferragamo, Jackie Slater. Let me ask you guys one question. You really went through it here on Matthew Stafford and the Rams, etc. Let me ask a very simple question. I just need your honest answer. Who better to win the Super Bowl on the Rams next year, Matthew Stafford or someone else?
Matthew Stafford.
But
thank you very much.
Do you give him a pay raise? I mean, certainly he would deserve a pay raise, but the Rams have already caved in with Aaron Donald, so they're capable of increasing the contract.
No, you said cave in, and Vince, I don't think that's appropriate. I think
because you have a contract, Jack. You got to play your contract out. If they said, "Hey, I'm unhappy, I want more money."
Yeah, I know, but how about looking at it? You can also look at it on the other side. As a form of how do you motivate a guy that's made $250 million over his career? Well,
give him more money.
You tell him, hey, we appreciate you to the point we realize that you're the 13th highest paid player at your position in the league, and you are doing more here with first and second year players than any other quarterback that's to be compared to you.
He's helped the team a lot.
So we want to let you know how much we appreciate you by giving you an additional blah, blah, blah. That's a possibility.
Giving them incentive. Hey, bring us back to the Super Bowl.
That's a
I'll give you
possibility.
$100 million.
But then, Vince, when you look at what the Rams are doing with their roster, and they're not taxed right now because they got so many young guys on their first year contract, they can afford to pay more money to Matthew Stafford now than they ever will be able to. So
they have some offensive linemen. Jackson. They've got
Avila,
Jackson. They got guys that they need to renegotiate.
Well, no, Avila still on
you
his
lose
rookie
those
deal.
guys, he's not going to be anything.
Yeah, well, he's got to. They got to. If he doesn't, if the Rams don't assign, if they don't sign a Lark Jackson, they might as well. It doesn't matter who's playing quarterback.
That's right.
It really doesn't matter because
I think they got a better chance to win with Matthew Stafford. Shouldn't we be looking at a backup that could be there that we could start to learn? You've mentioned many times on the show, both of you, Vince and Jackie, you've talked about the fact it's important with the connection between the coach and the quarterback. Find that guy, bring him on as a backup, and have him ready to go. So if you do lose Matthew Stafford, you're there. But for God's sakes, next year, let's keep the team going forward here because they didn't do very, very badly here last year. They almost went to the NFC.
Let me ask you a question. Can I ask a question?
What he's talking like now is a general manager.
That's a good point.
That's exactly right.
A person that's in charge of player acquisition.
Right.
That's what you sound like.
Yes.
And I would imagine that the people that are working at the Rams are saying that to McVay and everybody else. We need to have another guy.
Let me ask you guys a question.
Please.
You have Matt Stafford has got to do something with him. But if you bring a guy in like Sam Darnold, who's the number one list of quarterbacks on the free agent market, if you sign him, what does that mean?
That means
say, hey, Matt.
Now you got $100 million a year tied up.
No, I'm saying, okay, Matt, you want to go? We got Sam Darnold. I mean, does the mindset change?
But my question is, can Sam Darnold learn the
he's
wherewithal?
coming from the same system.
Well, I know, but it's you got a match here. You got magic here with Matthew Stafford,
no doubt
and the team knows him. You're better off keeping your nucleus together and hit it one more year for that Super Bowl, and then everybody's a year older, and you start thinking about it through the season.
Absolutely.
But you got to have a backup, Mike.
Yeah, you got to have a backup.
You do, but look at the Rams started 0-4 or something, and they have a terrible opening, and look what
he's
happened.
37 years old.
And he's the reason why
he gets hit one hit like in the back.
But he was the reason why that there was a major resurgence in that football team after dropping 3 and 4 games in a row early in the season.
That's true.
I think Matthew Stafford is an excellent quarterback.
Yes.
But I also think that there's a lot to be said about. I remember, Vince, several years ago when Edgerrin James and Ricky Williams were in the draft. This time of year, the Rams sent Eric Dickerson and myself down to the combine so that Eric and I could help make a decision which one of these two guys we like. Well, Eric had also had a lot of time in the Indianapolis Colts, and he had seen firsthand and up close Marshall Faulk. And so Eric Dickerson said, hey, man, I wouldn't want either one of these guys over Marshall Faulk. And I said, are you crazy? Marshall Faulk is not half their size. He's a small guy. He's going to get blown up. And Eric said to me this right here, and it was so true. He said, you will see a month of Sundays go by before that guy take a lick of any consequence. And that was absolutely true.
He was right.
It was absolutely true. Marshall Faulk was one of the most devastating backs that we have seen in our lives. Catching the ball, running with the football, he did it all. Eric Dickerson was right. So
he was.
So there should be somebody in place to be able to say to McVay and everybody else who's making those decisions, this guy right here, because of this, and this, we need to sign him because he's going to be a great player. But whatever happened to those people that's responsible for that?
You can talk about the cash situation and all that, but you got to remember one other thing too. Speaking as a general manager, and thank you for making me that here on the show today, you got to look at the crowd. The crowd wants to see a winner. It's like when the Dodgers traded away Mike Piazza. They stunk for a while, and they traded away the key of the team from the Dodgers. Everybody says, what's wrong with this new ownership? They stink. So I think ownership has to think about how you keep a champion in Los Angeles with a chance to go all the way.
See, Mike, and the idea of a great player is you make guys around you even better. And so you're a great teammate, and you can't overlook that thing. And I think Matt Stafford made everybody look good. The other guy that does that is Cooper Kupp. Okay, he's intuitive. He helps on the sidelines. He's giving suggestions, to his play, and he's very good. So was Marshall Faulk. He was like a coach on the field. He could do everything. He's the only player in the history I think I've ever seen this game, maybe outside of Jamar Gibbs in today's world, that could play 10 plays, having the ball 10 plays different ways, and he'll make yards, doesn't slow down a beat. And I think that's a mark of a phenomenal player.
Look at his numbers. He had 1,000 yards receiving, 1,000 yards rushing. Can you put it any better than that, Vinny?
That's it.
I'm telling you, I was nothing on this show until I joined up with you guys, and you turned me into the host for you and the announcer of the show. That I really appreciate
GM.
that. Thank you very much.
You've done a great job,
and
too.
now I'm GM of the team. That's pretty
Yeah.
darn good. Hey, can I have a raise, please? Thank you very much. All right, let's see who's available. What's the free agent list look like? You mentioned Sam Darnold 900 times. That's
Russell Wilson too. I think. What if he goes to the Raiders?
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, well,
The Raiders need a quarterback. Okay,
they're
but
Well, maybe
I
the
got to
Raiders-
ask you guys
The
a
Raiders
question.
is a good idea, actually, because you got what's his face, the coach there that loves him.
Yeah, the greatest comment that
guy
I
from
heard
USC.
after this Super
I
Bowl
can't remember his name.
59,
Okay.
Vic Fangio, the defensive coordinator for the winning Philadelphia Eagles, came
Yes.
out with a statement. Says, "I'm unhappy, not unhappy. I need more motivation."
Yes.
We gave up 22 points in the second half. Now, what does that do to a team? To me, you don't rest on your laurels, okay, when you say something like that. They want to go out and be better than they were this year. So that is a great promotion for the team. It's great and enthusiastic.
Vince, you failed to mention the timing of that.
Yeah.
All of the players had come in to be briefed on the photo shoot and the
Yeah.
parade. This is how we're going to conduct ourselves. This is how we're going to do this.
Thank you.
Forgot the parade. We just won the Super Bowl. Ha, ha, ha.
Yeah.
But Vic Fangio is sitting there thinking, half of these guys gave up 22 points in the second half. And he wanted to
I want
cover
something
football.
better.
If
Yeah.
that doesn't make a statement to players about the seriousness
thing.
of the detail of your assignment, nothing else will.
It does. All right, so your list: Sam Darnold, he's out there. Justin Fields, Russell Wilson. I do think the magic is there. Pete Carroll is the new coach, and Russell.
That's right.
Yeah, Russell Wilson was there in
Hey, how's
Seattle,
that?
so that's
That's a
going
good
there.
tie-in, yeah.
Who else do you like here? Joe Flacco, he's on the list again.
I just.
I always
stayed
root
that
for him when he
list.
gets pulled in after somebody's injured. I like Flacco.
Yeah.
But who else here? Jameis Winston, you got Marcus Mariota, Mason Rudolph, Andy Dalton. What do you think?
You got quarterbacks coming out of the draft this year. We
Yeah,
haven't even started
that's,
to
I
talk
think,
about
what you
that.
should
we
talk
haven't talked
about.
about that. But
Maybe
we
get
got a
some
few
of-
guys that need to step out of the list too.
Yeah.
That's been around for a while and
Yeah.
injuries and you can build around an older quarterback only so long. And
Aaron
remember-
Rodgers,
you
he's
remember-
available as a backup.
Yeah,
That would be good press for the Rams.
I remember when Joe Namath.
Thank you. That's
They'll have the
my
two
next
most
question.
Yeah.
You
expensive
guys,
quarterbacks in the league.
you
on the
guys
same
had
team.
Joe Namath at the twilight of his career back on the Rams, and how was that playing there with the Rams?
It was great learning from a guy like that because you see his mannerisms, you see how he operates, and there's a lot more than just your ability. Is how you affect other players on the team and
What?
how they respond.
What? I don't have those hearing aids he's ever. What?
He's just
They
a great
get the
player,
same ones
okay?
I have,
He was
okay?
just the best of all time.
Joe-
I mean,
Joe was
just
the-
Broadway Joe. They call him that for a
Everything
reason.
about I started my first game for the Rams the year that Joe started his first game for the Rams. We were
Wow.
down in Atlanta,
What was that like?
and I got beat like I stole the governor's mule several times.
Jackie Slater is a joke.
Several times
The
they were
poet
running past
laureate
me.
He
of
wanted
the
to throw
show.
a drink in
And
your face,
and I
man.
remember looking up at Joe, and I'm thinking to myself, run, run.
can't run.
And he couldn't run because
Oh.
you remember he had that deal with his leg. He could not contract his hamstring
Hamstring. It was
and pull his
locked.
leg up, so he was running like with a straight
Oh, so
leg.
there
All
you
he had
go.
to do was drop back in the pocket. But you know what? We don't have pocket passers anymore now. They
but you
run
gotta
all over
remember,
the place.
When you're getting beat like I was getting beat,
Oh, God.
there's no such thing as a pocket.
Help.
The
You better be
Federales,
able to take off.
Federales took his mule
Watch
and
out.
then some.
You ever seen a watch out block? Ooh,
No,
those
it's
are
look
dangerous.
Out. Look out! Look out! You
Oh,
tell them
look
look
out,
out.
yeah.
Don't
All
tell
right.
them to watch out. Tell
Okay,
them to look out.
Saquon Barkley, let's talk to him. He wants to be remembered for his time with the Eagles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. That's where you shined for the whole season, right?
And did you notice whose name he wants to be compared to?
Yeah, your guy on
Marshall Faulk.
Marshall
There we
Faulk,
go.
yes, wants to be compared to him. He says even though he did well at other places, he still remembers them at a certain point in his career, and that's the team he wants to be remembered by. And in this case, Saquon Barkley wants the Eagles to be his remembered. Is he retiring? Do we not know that?
I don't think so.
Saquon
I don't
Barkley,
think
are
so.
you
First I
kidding
heard
me?
that. Don't
He's
start
just getting
that
started.
rumor.
Saquon Barkley, you got a lot of time left. No matter
Hey,
where
we
you
got
are,
to
you'll
talk
be
about the
incredible.
Tush push later.
Yeah, we're coming back to talk
Okay.
Tush Push and a lot more. It's On Point Live. Check out the website, onpointlive.net, YouTube. Subscribe to On Point Live with Vince and Jackie. Instagram, on.point.live. Our sponsor, harmonycheese.com. Get some incredibly great cheese for yourself. And check us out at crntalk.com. We're playing there throughout the week. Email us, onpoint@crntalk.com. Win yourself a Harmony cheese pack. On Point Live returns. Stay with us. We are back on Point Live. I'm Michael Horn, Vince Ferragamo, Jackie Slater from the Rams. Great show for you. Check us out on YouTube, On Point Live with Vince and Jackie. On Instagram, on.point.live. Our sponsor is harmonycheese.com. Great cheeses that they have. Jackie Slater, you are the Abergele guy, am I
Love
right?
Abergele. Love it.
That's their number one
Absolutely.
seller, isn't it, Jackie?
No, I think
It's-
the port cheese is.
It
The
may be.
the cheddar with the Merlot in
cheddar.
it.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It's got to be near the top.
You can order it and have it sent to your home if you're having a party, whatever it might be. HarmonyCheese.com. Harmony, as in the way these two get along so well together in their comments.
Harmony Cheese.
Bring our guitars next time.
As
Jackie.
one of them is the big cheese, we're going to find out who later.com. And by the way, Jackie, you still have, and I know when we first announced we had Harmony Cheese on the air, you went home and got some of that fake grass like on the Easter baskets, and you put all the cheese in your refrigerator and have been inviting your friends over. Are you side
Well,
business
actually,
there?
that's not true because if I invite my friends over, they're going to eat more of the cheese than
That's
me.
true.
And I ain't about to have that happen.
And then Vince gets invited because he brings his
I
Vince
bring the
Ferragamo wine.
I bring the wine, yeah.
You got it really there.
There's no doubt about it.
What's that?
It's some of the best cheese I've ever had. I just have to make sure I don't eat too much of it
Well,
because then we could run into some problems.
What kind of problem? I'll get you over
new
to the
sponsor
doctor,
next
okay?
week. All right,
Doctor.
Can we talk about that since you talked to Promise?
No, we
talk
don't
about
wanna
the
talk-
Tush push, okay?
Oh, my
Oh,
goodness,
yeah.
the Tush
Okay,
push.
what's your
Here we
feeling
go.
on that, Jack? You
know,
kind of like that.
Hey,
The
listen,
Packers want the
that's
Packers
ridiculous.
CEO Mark Murphy wants to ban the Tush
That's
push.
ridiculous.
Why?
I can't believe
All right, let's say.
Let's go.
We've
Here we
been
go.
doing
Jackie Slater,
it's all
everybody.
it is a quarterback sneak. We've been doing quarterback sneaks for years.
Yeah, but they
Years.
never
No,
pushed
wait
guys.
a minute. We've been doing quarterback sneaks for years, and the only thing that happens when a ball carrier is stymied, you are not allowed. Now, this is the rule. You get penalized for this. You are not allowed to pull that ball carrier forward. You never see anybody grab the ball carrier and pull him towards the line of scrimmage. You see them all the time for years. Push him towards
You
the line
can't
of scrimmage.
stand in front of him and pull him towards the line of
No,
scrimmage.
you
should
can't
be
do that.
offside.
No, I'm talking about after contact.
Oh, I see.
After contact. You can't pull one of your own players towards positive yardage.
Right.
But you can push him towards positive yardage. That's never been questioned. And every team in the history of the National Football League who needed 6 inches have always had quarterback sneak. The quarterback sneak has been probably one of the oldest plays in the history of the game. How can you
Okay, this is
All
my
right,
thought.
take that away.
Okay,
You need 6 inches. What do you do?
man, you just get under the center and just find a hole and get through there.
That's the quarterback.
Okay,
Wait a
This
minute,
is-
wait a minute. You were a quarterback in the
Thank you,
NFL
Vince.
for how
I
many
never
years?
had nobody pushing me from behind.
You were in a quarterback in the NFL for how many years?
10.
Were you ever a quarterback on a roster with a group of plays that didn't include quarterback sneak?
No, I always had it in that lineup.
Okay, what was it
I'm
called?
not
What was
saying-
it called?
Quarterback sneak.
On every team in the NFL.
Right, but it's a
Okay,
little different
but-
than having like 8 guys pushing you
No,
across
Yes,
the
okay,
line.
here,
No,
let me
it's not.
explain.
The
Can I
only
say-
difference is those 8 guys weigh 350 pounds.
All right, let me give you my opinion.
All right. Quarterback Vince
You
Ferragamo.
cannot eliminate the quarterback sneak, okay, but you can eliminate the push from behind because When we first started doing it, we never had anyone pushing us for fine. If I can't go one-on-one with somebody, it's almost become an automatic thing. People don't want to see something automatic. They want some, some diversity. They want to see, well, what happens? Oh, it's 50-50 chance. Now, most of the coaches that are against it are defensive-minded coaches. I disagree with John Harbaugh because he says that if you push, you have to make everything illegal from pushing down the field. No, you can just make it for the quarterback sneak. If a guy's running down the field and his linemen are behind him, it's okay to push. That's separate than a quarterback sneak. It's a simple play. Raheem Morris says he doesn't like the tush push either. Okay. You go to Sean McDermott. Okay, he thinks it's an injury-prone thing. I don't think there's anything have to do with
injury risk. He says.
So injury risk. Wait a minute. I agree with the quarterback sneak, but I don't like them pushing from behind. You don't have to have it pushed from behind. If
Vince,
you can't make it, too bad.
You know what you sound like?
What?
You sound like one of the top defensive coordinators in the National Football League who happen to be head coaches. All of those guys whose name you just mentioned are defensive people.
I know it. That's why they're against it.
Can you push Jackie
Because
near
it's
his
automatic.
microphone? Just want to push it near that mic.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
There we go. That's
But Jackie, sometimes I'd grab the ball and jump over the pile if there was nobody there. Okay, so you have a little option. You have a variety there. I can go off tackle. I can go off guard. You usually go straight up the middle. Hey, you know what? They can run a quarterback sneak on first down if they want. If they were smart, because there's a big hole there.
This is the way I see it. This is a play.
Is his mic on?
Universal.
There we go.
Yeah,
This is a universal play.
Yeah.
There 32 teams have this exact same opportunity. Exact same opportunity. It's just that Philadelphia has figured out how to do it with 348
there's other teams that are doing it too.
350-pound guys.
But you have
and
a
they're
quarterback
winning
that can squat 600
and
pounds.
you have a quarterback that's not frail.
No.
So, I mean,
get in there and get it.
So is that fair to go and say that we're going to take that out?
I'm not saying eliminate it, Jackie. I'm saying eliminate the push from behind. You don't need to do that.
I disagree with that 100%.
I can see
have
both
that.
sides here for you. I see the NFL making rule changes every single month, it seems. Like every year there's something new. We got the tush push, now we don't.
The
Now we
rules
have this,
committee,
now we have
leave it
that.
in, but eliminate the push. That's all you have to do.
As
You
a
can't
quarter,
eliminate
so
the push. You
would-
can't
push
not
it.
eliminate the push. So suppose by design you want your two fullback, a
Get up,
fullback and a tight
get
end.
up right by the quarterback and block somebody.
Okay,
Don't
so
push him from behind.
Suppose by design you wanted those backs to insert in there, and you
Get
and
up
you
there.
want and you want your guards,
You can be right next to me. We both push together.
and you want your
but don't
guards to
push
go,
from me.
and you want your guards to go outside, and right there, that back hits that guy,
He gets blown up.
and it gets blown up.
Well, then get off to the side.
Well, I just.
Double block.
I feel like a ref at a hockey game watching a fight go on. They're just going back and forth till they tire themselves out.
They're
This is
changing
why
blows over
On
here.
Point Live is what it is. Two different viewpoints. Jackie Slater, Vince Ferragamo. You know, this is. I actually don't know what I decided now. I don't know what I'm in favor of.
I'm
Nick
100%.
Sirianni, the coach of the now champion Eagles,
Who runs it to
addressed the proposal to ban the tush push at the NFL Combine on Tuesday and called the effort unfair. Is what he said. He said the Eagles worked really, really hard on the play and said it was almost insulting to suggest that it was automatic.
Insulting. It
Well,
is.
it is
It's
almost automatic.
It's insulting. It's insulting to the offensive line. It's insulting to the coaches who call it. It's
It is
insulting to the
automatic.
courage of the quarterback that runs with that ball, because he's going to be met with confrontation in front, and then he's going to get shoved in the back. He knows he's going to get
If
shoved.
I told you it was a 95% success rate, would you run that play?
Yes, I would.
Okay, it's automatic.
Okay, so
Thank you.
let me ask one other question here before we, and we'll take care of this after the show out in the parking lot. But I got to tell you right now, do you ask the quarterback if you want to do the tush push? Because it seems to me like the quarterback is the guy that's got
Absolutely
the
not.
most to lose when he's getting rammed across that line. Am I right?
Absolutely not.
Vince?
No.
No.
Quarterback would call
No.
it third, fourth, and one. Hey, if we can get
It
it,
works.
let's go.
Certainly works for Philadelphia.
Yeah, well, it does when you have 600 pounds pushing you
That's true.
from behind.
Yeah.
There's no way you
But
can
there's-
get defeated.
Everybody has the same opportunity to run that play. I don't care whether you're playing in L.A., New England, wherever. You have the same opportunity to run that play.
The Rams do it.
Yeah.
They have push. They're pushing.
Okay.
So
we're
I
keeping.
mean, it's ridiculous to even have the conversation. And I say
Okay,
the
I'm
guys,
sorry.
the head
Apologize.
coaches that are complaining about it, they're intimidated because they're defensive-minded guys
Can't
that
do it.
They can't figure out how to stop it.
Okay, now
Hey, let's
since we're
talk
getting,
some basketball.
that's where let's talk basketball. How about those Lakers? What's LeBron James and Luka Doncic? They seem like they're really gelling the whole team together. Am I right?
Well, I'll give you my quick
Please.
viewpoint. I watched them play the Nuggets the other night.
Oh, that was
the
a
Nuggets
big game.
had their number. They won like the last 11 games in a
Right.
row against the Lakers. But I'm really impressed with what Riddick is doing now, Jackie, with this team, especially with his combination personnel groupings that he has on the court.
He's got 3 or 4.
He's got 3 or 4 of them, Jackie. They were outstanding. Okay, they'll go LeBron, they'll go Luka. All right, then they'll go with Dalton Connect and Austin Reeves. Okay, they'll go with Jason Hayes, Jared Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Then they'll go with Gabe Vincent, Hashimura. All the different.
Lot of
And Jackie,
combos.
there's no letdown from their bench. It's all like 10 guys starting.
Yeah.
And it was so effective. They could never. They got ahead. The Nuggets couldn't come from behind. They did a job on Jokic, the Joker.
Oh,
they
yeah.
were physical with him. They didn't let him get. He was out of sync. I've never seen him play
he
that
scored
poor.
10 points.
Jackie,
he was-
so many combos that in that Laker game the other night, they did the Big Mac and fries and still scored in that combo.
That's it, man.
Am I right?
They
They can do whatever they want.
This team is turned.
this
turned the
team's
team
turning it
around.
around.
One trade has
But-
turned this team around.
Let me tell you one more thing. You know what? LeBron made an analogy. He did a football analogy.
It was a good one.
It was a great one. At his age, 40 years old versus 25 with Luka, he says, look, I'm the wide receiver, LeBron said. Luka is the quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Jackie?
This
Because
guy
he
can-
says he can pass. Do you know how many times he threw the ball to LeBron for slam dunks?
How many?
Oh, God, about 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
I mean,
And they
got an
pushed
eye. He
him.
sees the
They pushed
court.
him from behind
This
on
is
the
a-
No, they
basketball.
didn't
Okay,
push
never
it. It
mind.
had
never
nothing to do
mind.
with the push.
no tush push.
But I agree
No, it's
with you.
amazing.
Watching Luka play the ball. The guy's 25 years old, but his basketball IQ is way up there. I mean, he can see you coming open when you are not open and put the ball where you can catch it and make a play. I mean, the guy's just got a very, very high basketball IQ and the fundamentals too, man. Just dribbling, shooting.
He brings another
passing, all of those
element
things.
to this team.
And kudos
Jackie.
to the coaching staff for making this happen. Am I right? Once
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
great leadership all the way around.
New coach.
And youth, too.
Shout out to
young
Jeannie
team.
Buss for bringing that trade through.
Way to go,
Thank you,
Jeannie.
Jeannie. That's good.
Good job.
Yeah. Now, since we're talking sports here, let's get into baseball. And I'm really disappointed in this change of attitude with the New York Yankees. They were the last team, I think, in sports that had the clean-cut rule. No facial hair. They look great. You could see what their face looked like. I mean, it's amazing. And now they've come up with this, well, I think, we might be able to, we'll lose a possible player if they don't come to us because they can't keep their beard. If that's the way the player thinks, then get them the hell off the team because they're not going to be a team member. That's my thought. Jackie, start with you.
Well, this whole idea of telling people how to wear their facial hair or how to cut their hair, and one of the things that on the 20 different teams that I played on professionally, the one thing that you want to try to do and master is the ability to have conformity without taking away individuality. Because you want the people's you want to bring special personalities to the table. And if a guy has a unique personality that manifests itself somehow in the way he dressed or the way he wears his hair, and he can come in and fit in with us on the football field, then so be it. He's just a different guy. And so I don't know.
But you got helmets covering that hair. The Dodgers, they got base.
I understand that too.
The catcher over there, Dustin May's got Mickey Mouse ears coming out. Charlie Blackmon's now retired from the Colorado Rockies. They used to use that guy. One day the grounds crew didn't show up. They had Charlie Blackmon running from first to third, all in the infield, dragging it with his beard, and it was perfect. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad, was
There's
it?
a beard so long, the guy scratched it, and mice fell out of it.
Oh, my goodness.
Come on, they
Well,
look pretty scraggly.
I agree with having rules and stuff like that too.
I do, too.
Especially
don't
in
get me
college.
wrong, yeah.
Okay, college. John Wooden is a prime example. He did with Sidney Wicks, and he did it with Bill Walton. Then those guys had to conform. I mean, but that's the impression you want to give to your team. The Yankees is professional ball. It's a little different. Even Cooper Kupp has a long beard. He's a phenomenal player, great team player. So if you don't want a guy because of their personality or something, don't get him. But if he's got long hair, he's a great player. He fits in well with my team. I'm good with it.
Make your change. Put the names on the back of the uniform so you know who the hell number 7 is. Oh, that's Mickey Mantle. All right, now we're at onpointlive.net. That's our website. Instagram on.point.live. HarmonyCheese.com. Get that sponsorship in there and get some good cheese and enter the contest to win a cheese pack and some wine. Go to onpoint@crntalk.com and send us your name and address. You'll be entered in the contest. onpoint@crntalk.com. Check us out at CRN Talk like 8 times weekly. On Point Live. We'll be back. On Point Live, Michael Horn, Vince Ferragamo, Jackie Slater. What in the world, Jackie? What do you got?
What in the world? You, Vince, and myself were sitting up here talking about what we should do and what we shouldn't do, depending on the organization, how we should wear our hair. Mm-hmm. Well, Alex Verdugo has figured it out, and he's given everybody a great example. If you look at him when he was the Dodgers, he had a little bit of hair right here. You look at him when he went to the Red Sox, he had a full blonde deal. And you look at him now back at the Yankees, and he's clean shaven.
Baby face, man.
That's a guy that's figured out. He knows which side his butter is bread.
He did well in the World Series.
Buttered on.
In the world. Better lucky than good.
Yeah, there was a spring training. 2 guys were hit in the head. I'd rather be lucky. They were lucky.
Bobby Miller of the Dodgers got hit by Michael Grover of the Cubs. Line drive right up the floor.
Right in the head. Now he's under concussion protocol, but he's fine.
And then a guy on the Padres, like 2 days, like just the other night, he got hit twice.
Wow.
Line drives in spring training.
With no helmet on. See, that's the reason why I never played a down of baseball there.
Well, yeah, but the pitcher, the fielders don't have the helmets on. Would you put a helmet on?
Well,
not a down anywhere.
They're substituting girls softball at the elementary level. Now they're playing flag football.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Great.
It's really good. All right, so that's pretty good. So, what a great show this week, guys. You were really hot and bothered here. We got some more things to talk about. We should talk draft next week, right? Some good.
We had some great quarterbacks coming out of the draft again. Shedeur Sanders,
Anybody you
Cam
like?
Ward, Jackson Dart. Oh,
and
yeah.
everybody's looking
Those
for
3
a
guys.
good big man.
Who?
A good big man.
Yeah.
Remember, a good big man is always better than a good little man.
You need that quarterback. You need that guy to throw the ball.
I'll leave that one alone, Jackie.
Yeah. Good big man is always better than the other man.
Hey, the first 3 teams up are the Titans, the Browns,
say.
the Giants, and the Patriots. Those top 3 teams need quarterbacks.
Oh, that's good. All right, now here's what you want to do. You want to go ahead and email us with your name and address to win that Harmony Cheese package with the Vince Ferragamo wine, Clarissa J. This is the Clarissa J is a super Tuscan blend.
It's like one of our best blends.
And it's got Sangiovese and Cabernet in it, and then Harmony Cheese with all the great cheeses. Abergelli in it,
Abergelli?
And the port, the cheese, the
Smoked
Merlot cheddar.
I like the smoked
Gouda is good too. I smoked some Gouda the other night with my chicken, and it was great. I'll tell you, that's the show. Check it out. Go to onpoint@crntalk.com. Give us your name and address and enter to win that. Don't forget our website, onpointlive.net, Instagram on.point.live, and our On Point Live with Vince and Jackie on the YouTube channel. Check it all out at crntalk.com. We'll see you next week here. These guys are going to be busy. We might be going to the NFL draft. We'll have to tell you details about that next week. Thanks so much. Email us onpoint@crntalk.com. See you next week.